Hi everyone. So I just wanted to talk about a few things that anywhere from your mid-30s upwards that you're going to start experiencing if you haven't already. And this is obviously due to the fact that anywhere from your mid-30s there is a massive change in your hormones, and as hormones are starting to decline before we move into perimenopause. It's averaging around about 44, 45, and then menopause is around 51, but that's an average. Remember, everyone is different. So there's loads of different things that are going to start happening in the body. So number one is there's going to be a change in your cycle. So either your periods will get longer or they'll get shorter, or they'll go heavier or lighter. So either way, you're going to notice a change. I have massively noticed a change. Personally, mine have gone shorter, heavier, and more painful, things like that. You're also going to notice your tolerance to like what's going on. So if you are getting more irritated with things that didn't really bother you, if your tolerance for bullshit has gone massively down, where you can't tolerate certain things that you could have before and you just haven't got any time, you'll notice change in relationships. And that's not just in relationships with like partners, that's relationships with friends. I've noticed a massive change. You'll lose friendships, you'll lose relationships, and you'll start to walk away from stuff that doesn't make you happy anymore. But that's not really a bad thing, is it? You will notice appetite changes. You will notice your body doesn't want to move in the same way it wanted to before. Maybe the form of exercise that you've always wanted to do, that your body just doesn't like that anymore. So it's about finding something else for you to do as well. You might notice fatigue levels, your sleep levels, your sleep patterns might be a little bit off, changing, especially in the change of hormones and during the time of the month as well. But what you'll also notice, and a thing that I've noticed massively, is your body is going to change. So the shape of your body is not going to feel and look the way it did 10 20 years ago, and that's okay because it's not meant to. But you are going to notice a change in your physical body, in your shape, and in your weight as well. There may be considerable weight gain, especially around the stomach area, as the hormones drop. So as our estrogen levels drop, our cortisol levels can go up. Our cortisol is our stress hormone. When we have overwhelm of stress and too much cortisol in the body clings onto fat. It's our fight or flight mode. That's going to start happening when our sleep gets disrupted. That doesn't help either. So when I say with weight gain, it's going to come and slap you in the face. And that is what has happened to me. It's going to feel like it's come from nowhere and you are struggling to lose it and the body is clinging onto it. So it's all about finding out what works for you. It's going to be different for everyone. But the biggest thing is to hone in on our nutrition and to hone in what we are eating and what is fueling our body, especially if you are moving less. It might be worth looking at that as well. Also, the way we exercise is going to change. I wish in my late teens and 20s I would have done more Pilates and yoga and being a bit more mindful of the way my body moves, and that is what I'm trying to do now. So all these things are going to change. There's going to be changes in the cycle. Our skin's going to change. Your skin might get drier. Our hair's going to change. Our body weight's going to change. Our tolerance levels are going to change. We're going to sleep differently. Things that used to bring us joy might not bring us joy anymore, and that's okay. And what we can't do is we can't hone in on all these things and beat ourselves up about them. There's nothing wrong with us. We're not going insane. This is just a natural part of embracing that next stage and what's happening. So if you are finding that you are forgetting things, you feel a bit fuzzy-headed, you're not sleeping very well, you might be overheating, you're getting irritated at stuff, things aren't bringing you joy anymore, things that you used to enjoy, not anymore, you're walking away from people that used to bring joy to your life aren't, relationships feel really toxic, you're gaining weight in a way that you never thought possible. All these things, even though they sound negative, are all natural things that are going to happen. And the more educated we are going into this, and the more that we can understand our body, and this is why I am a massive advocate of tracking your cycle, so you can track your hormone levels throughout the month. The more prepared you are now, as you step into perimenopause and menopause, the easier the transition's going to be, and the more knowledgeable about your body, oh my god, you can be. So for me, it's been a bit, even though I've been aware of these things for a couple of years, for me the biggest slap in the face for me has been how my body has changed. And I know some people will be like, oh, there's nothing wrong with you. Please never say that to anyone, because it's not helpful. But it is something that is causing me a lot of distress at the moment, and I am having to find a way to still do my job and work with this and work in the way my body is changing. And the more I learn about it, the more information I can pass on. So this was just to say you are not alone. If you are experiencing all these things, then just to rest, you know, step back, listen to what the body's saying, make a note of the symptoms, track your cycle and do all these things. And just start to look after yourself. Look after yourself from the inside out. And do the things that make you feel good and that bring you pleasure and that bring you joy. But the more in tune we can be now, the more it's going to help us in the long run. So hopefully this has been helpful. Drop in the comments. Let me know if anyone's experienced this. Let me know how you're feeling. But please, if you are feeling this way, reach out, talk. There's more information coming soon. There's more information coming on the page. But there's one thing I do want to say as well. If you see someone and they look like they've gained a little bit of weight and they are around this age, please do not point it out to them, because they already feel shit enough about themselves as it is. They don't need you trying to bring them down and pointing it out. They're quite aware of it. Something really hard happened to me today. So as I turned up to teach my class, my sports bra that I have on underneath my vest was digging into me. And I had to get some scissors from the first aid kit and cut it and rip it a little bit so it would fit me. And this was 2 minutes before my class started, and I had to stop myself from crying before the class, because it hurt that I had to cut something because it didn't fit me anymore. Just before I had to teach 2 classes and try and motivate people while I feel like a sack of shite. So just be kind. Be kind to yourself, but be kind to others as well. And if you don't know what I mean, it's this. Yep. I have to do that. So yeah. Anyone else who's going through this, I am with you. Keep an eye out on the page. And if you've got any comments about our look, you can fuck off. But if you've got any comments or questions, drop them under here. Please know that you're not alone.